How's it going, everybody? This is your Astrology Horoscope for Wednesday, March 6, 2024. I'm astrologer Alex Skyles, and welcome to the Moon Base. Hope you guys are having a wonderful week. There's been a lot of wild shit going on. This Mars-Uranus square building up here. We're seeing some super radical shifts in the world, right? A lot going on in the financial world. A lot in the political world. There's so much shit going on. I don't even want to get into it, but I know most of you know and are aware of what the hell is going on. So there's a lot of things moving, a lot of things shifting, and a lot of things changing. And I think in this Pisces season, I think what Pisces does best is adapt to how things are moving and shifting and changing. And all this Aquarius, Venus and Mars still here, and Pluto, is igniting this, has been igniting this willingness to accept the current that is changing, right? And being able to radicalize and revolutionize our lives. And that's exactly what's happening. And I definitely think with this Mercury and Pisces building up to this Neptune conjunction, definitely a lot of truths are going to be revealed, a lot of deception is going to be revealed, right? It's like if there are things that are based on false pretenses or non-truths, like I think this Neptune is going to expose certain things, but also like there's going to be people who are going to be utilizing this Mercury-Neptune to cast illusions to their benefit. So we want to be aware of that. We want to be aware of how we're also subconsciously deceiving ourselves at this moment. We want to be careful. We want to be really objective of are we falling for a trap, or are we really being honest about what we're saying, about what's going on in our environments, the communication that we're having. I think on all fronts, we want to be questioning all things right now just to really hold ourselves accountable, right? So this moon in Capricorn at 22 degrees is going to be sextiling Mercury at 22 degrees. And we saw this yesterday with the moon in Capricorn sextiling Saturn and the sun in Pisces. So there is this energy of being able to detach from the Neptunian energy just for a second with this moon and be a little more objective and look at things in a more black and white perspective. Because with Mercury here getting ready to conjunct Neptune, it's a little difficult right now to come down back to Earth. So this moon in Capricorn is giving us this moment here to look at things a little bit more from a two-sided perspective instead of this all-encompassing, beautiful Piscean perspective. But the Piscean energy can also carry us into worlds that, are wonderful, but maybe not based in reality. So this moon sextiling Mercury here is saying how can our dreams and our ideas and our bigger vision and our spiritual mission here align with the physical world? So, we're seeing a lot of amazing things play out in our physical Capricornian world that we exist in, right? And we're seeing some massive exposure here. I said this yesterday. It's like things are just really being exposed and ignited here. We saw with this Mars getting ready to square Uranus too, we saw Instagram and Facebook go down yesterday. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I predicted that and this and that. But honestly, any astrologer who's following the astrology, and if you don't consider yourself an astrologer and you're a seeker and a consumer of astrology, it's like you've been watching it too. We're all saying the same things here. This isn't just some one-off idea. We all know, when Mars in Aquarius is going to square Uranus here, it's like Uranus is dispositing Mars. Mars is going to square Uranus. So it's just we're seeing it. We're seeing the financial markets, Uranus and Taurus, the financial markets are changing rapidly. The last time Uranus was in Taurus 84 years ago, in the 30s, that was when, the gold standard and the Federal Reserve, the gold standard was shifted to the Federal Reserve. So now we're seeing this whole new thing play out. It's digital currency. We don't know what it's going to be, but we know that things are shaken up here, right? We're seeing, look, I just want to say, like, I'm not attaching my beliefs to any of what I'm saying. I'm just, this is what mundane astrology is. We're utilizing the astrology and utilizing what's going on in the world, right? And, we're seeing, the orange bad man, Donald Trump, win every damn state here. I mean, to some people it's not a surprise, but some people are kind of like, oh, what the fuck? And it's being exposed. I think a lot of these things are being exposed, in the world. So it's like, how are surprises and things that you already knew but seem to be surprising and shocking showing up in your life? I think we're going to be seeing that as Mars builds up to the square Uranus, and Mercury building up to its conjunction with Neptune, and it's like we got to be ready for these things. We want to be prepared, because with so much beautiful Pisces energy right now, it's easy to fall into the trap, with Neptune. Neptune is the strongest planet in the zodiac right now. It is ruling everything, because the sun's here, right? So we have 4 planets, 4 very important planets. So this moon in Capricorn today, making this great sextile to Mercury, and then it will sextile Neptune as well, going into the morning time on the West Coast. It's going to sextile over to Neptune. So it's like, our dreams and our physical reality are wanting to find a common ground. So emotionally, we know that it's our dreams and our vision and our destiny and our physical area of our lives is in sync, and I think we're feeling that today. We're feeling emotionally connected to where we stand and what we've created and our destiny and the journey that we've been on and the mountain that we've been climbing, starting off in 2024, that our dreams and our visions and our spirituality are in sync with our physical world. And I think there is a lot of support here coming today, but also like revealing a lot of where like, wow, like I can't believe I fell for that. Like I need to be more realistic in these areas. If you look at it where it's at in your chart, like it'll be very clear where that's popping up, and it's a good thing. It's a healthy thing here that's happening. And I think it's very important, especially with how rapid things are shifting and changing right now, with all this Uranian Aquarian energy shaking things up in a very powerful way. And also, how our visions and our dreams and our intuitions is so in sync with our hearts and our minds right now. Like this is such a unique moment, so this moon in Capricorn is kind of bringing us down into the physical world a little bit more to kind of bridge the gap, right? And it's well needed right now. I think it's easy to kind of fall for things. It's like, and also like questioning like the things we just talked about in the more mundane arena of like, the financial market or the political market. It's like, well, we're seeing certain things on a screen right now. And this is very Neptune, Pisces energy as well. It's like, well, we're seeing all these things play out on a screen, but what is true? What is real? How much of it is propaganda? I mean, Mercury conjunct Neptune is also propaganda at its highest, so if you feel like there is scenarios in your life or people in your life or people aren't being necessarily clear with their words, or you feel like something's not true, something's not, it probably is at this moment, but also being able to discern that. This moon in Capricorn is helping us discern what words and what form of communication that's connected to our dreams and our spirituality and our bigger vision here is of truth and is of like something real and something tangible, So we definitely want to have all of our senses alert, all 5 or all 6 of our senses, right? And let's keep going here. I think today, by the afternoon, this moon's going to move into Aquarius. and it's going to conjunct Pluto. So, we can definitely feel like today is a very shifty kind of day. Like, it's like we're able to kind of be in this place of like being aware of where we're at in our physical world, but also be connected to the outer realms. And when this moon comes into Pluto, we can really feel a lot of deep emotions start to bubble up to the surface. That's connected to how uncomfortable this wild ride can get, right? Like this, it can get a little uncomfortable. Like, I know some people like to ride that wave of discomfort, but some people may not thrive too well in this fixed energy. And now with the Pluto, the moon, Mars, and Venus in Aquarius, 4 bodies in Aquarius, we have 4 bodies in Pisces. I mean, it's just the last 2 signs of the zodiac are covered here for the next few days. Like, it's pretty caked. So we're definitely going to see, like, over the next few days, we're going to see some wild shit pop off. We're going to see things take ultimate twists and turns. I definitely think this, by the end of the week, going into the weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, like, expect some wild things to really pop up in our lives and pop up in the world. No doubt about that. Definitely connected to the internet and our communities and our finances and all that. I mean, this has been building up, but we've been seeing little droplets over the past few weeks kind of pop up, But at the same time, it's like we could see beyond all of that, right? With Mercury and Pisces, Neptune, we can see past all the chaos happening in the world. We can see the higher, bigger spiritual purpose of why all these crazy things occur, and what the point of all these things are. And definitely, what Aquarius does best is be able to connect the dots and connect the pieces. Say, oh, this is why this happened, and this is the result of, this event or this thing that took place, like, and make the connections. So at the same time, it's like, yeah, we're in this physical world, we're in this reality, we're able to see how fast things are changing, like we're all saying, we all know, we all feel it. 2024 is going to be one of the most radical years that we've probably ever experienced. And it's only the beginning. I mean, it's the first week of March here. So, and now definitely with this energy, this moon coming into Aquarius, Mars getting ready to square Uranus, and this moon's going to be in Aquarius while Uranus is square, or Mars is squaring Uranus. Expect wild things to be happening over the next few days. I'm not going to sit here and try to pinpoint what it's going to be, but we've already seen droplets play out here the past few weeks, whether it's things with the internet or the cell services going down. The financial markets are really ramping up and going absolutely haywire. All of it is going to be all happening all at once here over the next few days, and we're going to see some wild shit happen. But we want to remain on the higher frequency of the Sun in Pisces, Mercury and Neptune, and Saturn as well. Saying like, you know what, I could be above it, and I can look at it and observe it and understand the whole purpose and the whole reason for why things are playing out the way they are, because there is a purpose, there is a reason. And that's what Mercury and Pisces is teaching us here, is that, like, nothing is isolated, no event is isolated, we can't control it, everything is of the divine, and we have to surrender to what is happening in our world to really flow through it and to get to a better place spiritually and, just in general as human beings, and being more connected to our soul, and the more we can embrace the reality, even if it's harsh. Mars and Aquarius squaring Uranus, it's like it's definitely bringing in a harsher perspective here. And with this moon Pluto today, it's like some deep shit can come up, some deep emotions can really pop up, but then again, you can really uncover things within yourself, uncover some unconscious areas that you may have never touched before, especially connected to Mars and Venus. Because we had Mars and Venus conjunct Pluto weeks prior to this. So now with this moon here, definitely this is starting to connect the pieces of what we experienced with this Mars-Pluto, Venus-Pluto conjunction, and definitely related to the masculine and feminine energy and how that is transforming. Like, I think we're going to feel emotionally in a deep way how we're changing as human beings, men and women, male and female. And we're not talking about 1,000 other genders here. We're talking about Mars and Venus. So we're witnessing how that is transforming in our reality and how we're evolving and how that frequency is raising. When we get to Aquarius and we get to Pisces, the last 2 signs of the zodiac, that's when the frequency is at its peak, right? That is the highest realms, the furthest out we go, at least as of now, until we find another body or find another planetary body, beyond Pluto, that really can make sense in this conversation of the astrology we use today. So I definitely think we're feeling emotionally charged in a very deep way and emotionally becoming aware of this transformation, slowly but surely. So this is going to be, the 3rd time that the moon is conjunct Pluto in Aquarius? The second or third time that we felt this. So, and every time it's like we're evolving more. Pluto is all about evolution in every way, and that's very uncomfortable. Aquarius energy is uncomfortable. Mars square Uranus is uncomfortable, especially with Uranus dispositing Mars. And Venus is much more detached. It's not really, it's not making any aspects to any other planets right now. So Venus is kind of just in its own world, just kind of aloof, just, doing its own thing, trying to connect with others, but it's really hard. It's really difficult, to connect with, with Venus right now. Like, it's kind of in its own world. Once Venus comes into Pisces, that'll change a lot, But of course, Venus is exalted in Pisces. So Venus loves to be in Pisces. And that's going to really change things up here. We got, so many days. We're not far away from that. But today is definitely a day where, we can look at our physical reality in ways that we need to at this moment to kind of trim back all this Neptune Pisces energy that we've been experiencing. And it's good. I love Neptune energy, but sometimes we kind of need a reality check. And definitely with this Mars squaring Uranus, it's going to be a big wake-up call for people. Like, oh shit, like, wow, like, I got to keep up. Things are happening quicker than we may realize right now. And with this Mercury-Neptune conjunction, it's like, some of y'all might really be asleep or feel like you're asleep or feel like it's hard to just wake up. I will say, like, my dream states have been more active than I can recall in a long time. And that's definitely this Mercury-Neptune conjunction for sure, And knowing that, our subconscious is really trying to communicate with us right now. And we really want to be listening, especially with the intensity that we're going through. This Mars square Uranus is like an electrical storm, trying to get through an electrical storm here right now. And it's not that easy, But we want to have faith. We want to surrender that everything that we're going through is all for a reason, all for a purpose, and it's bigger than us and we're not in control. And that's always the reminder in Pisces season. This is where our souls leave and prepare to come back, right? This is where we want to be resting and recharging as much as we possibly can right now. Because when we get to Aries season, like we keep saying, eclipses are going to be wild. And this is kind of the trigger point of what is going to be revealed. Because a lot of the energy that's coming through, it's going to be doubling down here as we go into Aries season and we go into eclipse season. Mercury will be retrograde come April 1st. So, it's going to be a wild ride here. And definitely this Mars squaring Uranus is going to electrically charge us in ways that we may not be ready for, but it's exactly what we need. So I pulled the Empress card today. So, Venus is kind of on its own, right? And at the same time, I think, we got to remain in our own beauty and in our own kind of haven. I think that's what Pisces does best. I think that's what Pisces season is all about, is like, even though there's so much wild shit going on, we got to remain in our own kind of beauty, in our own space, right? In our own safe place that nobody else can penetrate. If you think about the 12th house, you think about Pisces, you think about Neptune, it's hidden. It's what's within us. It's the place where nobody else can go, where unless you allow people to go to that place with you, and the Empress card, it's just like, it's holding the magic and remembering that the magic is within you and within our, we have it in our palms, in our fingertips, and whatever that looks like, and I definitely think this moon in Capricorn sextiling Mercury today and Neptune, it's like, like, magic isn't just something like some illusion. Like, magic is what we call manifestation, right? But it's really about the reality that you're projecting and acting on. So, and that is what we call magic, but really that's just, us fulfilling our own duty and our own destiny and our own purpose, So we want to remain in our protected haven, even when all the crazy shit's happening, because at the end of the day, we can't control it and we're all a part of it. And the more output of goodness and greatness and creativity and love that we can put out, especially in Pisces season, especially when we're talking about the Empress card, it's like the more beauty and love that we can put out without the intention of standing up to something that we can't control, just out of pure selfless service, which is what Pisces is also all about. That's when we can really make a dent in the fabric of our existence. So I hope you guys have a wonderful Wednesday. And if you're new here, subscribe to my channel, share this video, like this video. If you want to find me on Instagram, the link is in the description of this video. My booking website, if you want to book a reading, is also in the description with all of my links to all the platforms, including my Spotify, all those wonderful things. So I appreciate all of you. It's good to share this space with you, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace out.